Back in 1968, right at the peak of his fame, Elvis Presley recorded a song that might be his most powerful, and maybe his most surprising. See, it wasn't about rock and roll. It wasn't about love. It was a cry for hope born directly out of a national tragedy. So today we're going to dig into the story behind If I Can Dream.
There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Wow, that one line opens the whole song, and it just perfectly captures this feeling of desperate hope in a really dark time.
And that really brings us to the big question here, doesn't it? How did this song, from a guy who is famous for staying out of politics, become his single most important political and social statement? To figure that out, we have to start with the words themselves. Because at its heart, this song is exactly what it sounds like, a dream of a better land.
You know, the lyrics just paint this incredibly vivid picture. It's a call for peace and understanding, a vision of a warmer sun where hope keeps shining on everyone. It's all about finding the courage to blow away doubt and fear, to escape a world troubled with pain. It even argues that the strength to dream can literally redeem a soul. I mean, this was so much more than pop music. It was like a gospel of hope.
But here's the thing. To feel the real power behind those words, you have to transport yourself back to the year they were written. You have to understand 1968.
1968 was a year of fire. A year of just profound social and political turmoil that rocked the United States to its very core. The Vietnam War was raging, protests were everywhere, and the whole country felt like it was about to split apart at the seams. And just look at this timeline. It tells you everything. On April 4th, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated right in Elvis's hometown of Memphis. Then, just 2 months later, on June 5th, Senator Robert F. Kennedy was also shot and killed. And only 18 days after that, on June 23rd, Elvis walks into a recording studio. The song he records? If I Can Dream.
So yeah, this was a real turning point. These tragedies pushed the king of rock and roll to take a stand in a way that he never, ever had before.
And from what we know from people who were close to him, Elvis really admired Dr. King. So his assassination, especially since it happened right there in Memphis, it left him personally devastated. He apparently spent hours just talking about the loss of both Dr. King and then, just a few weeks later, Bobby Kennedy. The grief was absolutely real and it needed to go somewhere. But believe it or not, getting this song made was a fight. When the song was first presented, his manager, the infamous Colonel Tom Parker, just shut it down. He said, "This ain't Elvis's kind of song." But for the first time, Elvis really stood his ground. He told him, "I'm never going to sing another song I don't believe in." He fought to get this message out. And that conviction? You could feel it in the room. During the recording session, one of the backing vocalists reportedly leaned over and whispered, "Elvis never sung with so much emotion. Looks like he means every word." He was pouring all of the pain and all of the hope of that moment right into the microphone. So when you really start to break it down, when you decode the dream in these lyrics, it becomes so clear. This song is a direct response to the nightmare of 1968. You see, the songwriter Walter Earl Brown was asked to write a big finale for Elvis's upcoming TV special. And because he knew how torn up Elvis was over Dr. King's death, Brown very intentionally wrote a song that echoed the themes and even the phrasing of King's famous "I Have a Dream" speech.
I mean, just listen to this line, probably one of the most powerful in the whole song. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand.
There's no mistaking what that's about, right? It's a direct echo of Dr. King's dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. This wasn't subtle. It was a musical tribute, plain and simple, to the civil rights leader who had just been killed.
But it's not all just hope. The song also captures this raw, collective sorrow, with lines like, "We're trapped in a world that's troubled with pain."
And that line, that's the sound of a nation in mourning. The world troubled with pain was the absolute reality of 1968, a country just reeling from losing two leaders who for so many people represented the very hope that the song was pleading for.
So when he performed this as the grand finale for his legendary '68 comeback special, wow, the song's message created an impact that was immediate, and it has lasted ever since. And you know what? Elvis's big risk, it absolutely paid off. The single sold over 1 million copies just in the United States. That message of hope in a time of complete despair, it clearly connected with a massive audience. And it wasn't just in the States either. The song's message resonated all over the globe. It was a top hit in the UK and Canada, and it shot all the way to #2 in Australia. Turns out the dream Elvis was singing about was a universal one.
In the end, the song itself kind of asks the big question, doesn't it? As long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. It leaves us with this final thought. Can a song truly redeem a soul? Maybe. But for one powerful moment in 1968, a song gave a voice to a nation's pain and its incredible dream of a brighter somewhere.